I've got a power to request your name.
Then why did you bring up section 44 if it's not specific? You specifically said section 4. Which section then?
Actually, it doesn't matter, to be perfectly honest. It doesn't matter. I'm aware. Yeah.
He is standing on a public street with a camera. No weapons, no threats, no laws broken, nothing. And yet a plainclothes detective walks straight up to him and quotes a terrorism law to his face, demanding his name and date of birth like she has every right in the world to do it. What she does not know, and what this auditor is about to make very clear on camera, is that the law she just quoted has not existed since 2012. Watch what happens when someone who actually knows the law gets confronted by an officer who clearly does not. This is where it all falls apart for her, and it happens faster than you think. Stay with this one because it only gets better from here.
Yeah, you okay?
What are we up to today?
How you doing? How can I help you?
I was just wondering what you're up to.
That's okay, yeah, I don't mind you wondering.
It's just because you're filming the police station.
Okay, well, from a public place, that's lawful, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. We're just inquiring as to obviously the purpose behind it.
Okay, well, I don't have to tell you the purpose.
Okay, with it being a public field, I'm sure you can understand how we have to be vigilant to certain people who may be looking to monitor the police station for certain things, especially what's gone on in the last few days as well.
Alright guys, this audit goes south real quick. A filmmaker is standing on complete public ground, camera in hand, recording a police station, something that is 100% lawful in the United Kingdom. Within seconds, officers are already closing in, faces serious, demanding to know what he is doing and why. What is about to unfold is a masterclass in knowing your rights and refusing to be intimidated by the very people who are supposed to know the law better than anyone. Pay close attention, because this opening exchange sets the entire tone of what is coming.
Well, doesn't trump my rights though, does it?
Well, no,
but you can.
Are you recording me?
I am, yes.
Are you not supposed to tell me when you're recording me?
I'm in a public place just as you are.
Okay, doesn't matter, it's still on your procedures.
Okay. I'm not within a...
I don't understand. We've obviously just...
You don't have to understand, that's okay. That's alright.
We just wondered as to why you're filming the police station.
You can carry on wondering.
Obviously, from a police point of view, given what's happened in the last couple of days in London, we become suspicious, don't we? It doesn't look good when people are filming a police station, that's all.
Do you know what though? 3 days ago, it would have been exactly the same. 4 days ago, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what's happened in the last 2 days. This will happen whenever you do it.
Okay, so for what purpose are you filming the police station?
The officer goes straight for the oldest psychological trick in the book. If you have got nothing to hide, you have got nothing to fear. It sounds reasonable on the surface, but it is one of the most manipulative and legally hollow phrases ever used by law enforcement. The auditor does not get flustered, does not raise his voice, and does not take the bait. Instead, he picks that argument apart word by word, calmly and precisely, until the officer has no logical ground left to stand on and is forced to retreat from his own statement. This is exactly the kind of quiet, composed resistance that most people simply are not prepared for in the moment.
Don't have to tell you that. If it's lawful and I'm in a public place, I can do it without having to explain to anybody.
Okay, that's fine.
It's okay?
We'll
have a good day.
Who are you then, sir? Are you happy to provide us with...
Oh, no, I don't need to do that, do I?
No, that's fine.
I was just asking if you were going to. Obviously, if you've got nothing to hide, then you'd be quite happy.
Oh, is that right? So I've only got... If I don't tell you I've got something to hide, is that what you're saying?
No, that's not what I said, was it? That's an inference you've drawn from it. Yeah?
What you said was, if I've got nothing to hide, I'll tell you. So if I don't tell you, have I got something to hide? Okay. No, well, I'd rather invoke that right to anonymity.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I'm just asking the question.
That's okay. You don't mind me... You don't like these rights? You're all right?
We'll obviously be making other officers aware that someone's...
That's fine. That's great. Yeah, that's great.
Okay.
See you. Have a good day.
With nothing left to throw at him, the auditor does something that visibly catches the officers off guard. He formally invokes his right to anonymity. No name, no explanation, no justification owed to anyone. The officers fish around for one last angle, one last way in, but there is simply nothing there. No law has been broken, no obligation exists, and the auditor knows it down to the letter. He closes the conversation on his own terms, completely composed, and walks away without giving them a single thing they came for. Clean, sharp, and completely by the book.
Okay. What's the matter?
Basically, mate, we've had a report that someone's been outside videoing the police cars.
Yeah.
Taking photographs of them. We're just making sure everything's all right.
Yeah.
For obvious reasons, really.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay. Any particular reason you're videoing police cars at a police station?
Any particular reason you've got a problem with it?
Basically, mate,
you elevating your vehicles and you above that of the public, because the public
no,
can
we're just
photograph the
wondering,
public.
because obviously I don't go around videoing members of the public's vehicles, do I?
You're not wondering,
so
are you? You're coming out and investigating. Wondering is a silent process, and you're in the investigation process.
Yeah, we're just trying to gather further information to see why you're doing what you're doing.
Why?
Well, because it gives us concern, actually, especially in light of the current climate and the threats against police, why people are videoing personal vehicles.
Well, from what I read yesterday, the biggest threat to police is other police.
Well, that's definitely not the case.
Oh, I thought it was somebody on the force that killed 4 officers yesterday in France.
In France, not in the UK.
Okay.
Right. What's your name, sir?
Why do you want to know?
Because we've got powers in law to ask, actually, if you're videoing police cars.
Well, no, and I've got powers to say no. I can invoke the right to anonymity.
Actually, you can't. Under Section 44 of the Terrorism Act, we've got power to request your name and date of birth.
No way. So you're not aware that Theresa May repealed Section 44 in 2012 then?
No.
Do you think you should if you're coming out with this type of rhetoric with me?
Sorry?
Do you think you should know that?
I know I've got a power to ask for your name and your day of birth.
Hold on.
Under the Terrorism Act.
Let's step back to Section 44. Are you not aware that that doesn't exist anymore?
The specific section of the legislation is irrelevant. I'm aware.
Just when you think the pressure has settled, a plainclothes detective steps into the frame and the whole atmosphere shifts again. She brings a heavier tone, a more serious posture, and immediately reaches for language designed to make the auditor feel like a suspect. She introduces the phrase hostile reconnaissance, a term that sounds serious and loaded, and attempts to frame his basic, lawful photography as something connected to terrorism concerns. The auditor does not panic, does not stumble, and does not give her an inch. He challenges every word of it, and what she does not yet realize is that she is about to make a far bigger mistake than simply showing up.
And I've got a power to request your name.
Then why did you bring up Section 44 if it's not specific? You specifically said Section 4. Which section then?
Actually, it doesn't matter, to be perfectly honest. It doesn't matter. I'm aware.
I don't know what it falls under.
I've got a power in law to actually demand that you give me your name and your day of birth under that legislation.
Demand it then.
Give me your name and your day of birth.
No, because you've just committed.
I've got reasonable grounds to suspect that you're engaged in hostile reconnaissance of police vehicles.
Really? What's the difference between passive reconnaissance then?
Sorry?
What's the difference between passive reconnaissance? How would you know the difference? What is the difference between passive reconnaissance and hostile?
There's no such thing. Reconnaissance is not a passive act, is it?
Of course it can be.
No, it's not.
It could be for a story.
Reconnaissance is not a passive act.
It could be for a hobby. Of course it is.
Reconnaissance, the very nature of reconnaissance.
Listen to me.
Going out of your way to take
You've committed an offence.
Or pictures of something.
You have committed an offence.
No, I haven't.
Under Section 26 of the Criminal Justice and Courts Act 2015, you have just threatened to use your power improperly.
No, I haven't.
And the reason I have left it,
actually,
is because you should have corrected him, because you have also committed offence by not correcting him and putting him right. So the pair of you have.
That's actually not the case.
It is the case.
Because we have that power in law.
You don't have the power.
You're well aware we have that power.
You don't have the power. Go and get your memo from Trotter, who was head of ACPO, and read what it says, 2010, about photographing the police and about photographing cars. Because you're really struggling, aren't you?
These aren't operational police vehicles in this
car
park. So that gives me more of a concern of why you're interested in them.
So what?
Look, we're clearly not really getting anywhere with this conversation, are we?
It's because you don't know your shit, that's why.
Look, all you need to know is that I'm aware I've got powers in law to do the things that I do.
Well, why don't you go for it and do it?
Hey?
Do it.
Because actually, at the moment...
Because you know you're wrong, and you know you're going to get sued if you do. You're wrong.
That's not the case.
This is the moment the entire confrontation explodes. The officer reaches into her legal arsenal and pulls out Section 44 of the Terrorism Act, using it to formally demand his name and date of birth. It is delivered with authority and confidence, except for one catastrophic problem. Section 44 was repealed by Theresa May back in 2012, over a decade before this conversation is even taking place. The auditor knows it immediately, states it clearly, and watches the officer visibly scramble to recover. She tries to argue the specific section does not matter, that the power still exists somewhere in law, but the damage is already done. You do not get to threaten someone with legislation that no longer exists and then brush it off as a minor technicality.
This is it. That's not the case at all. Look, if you're just doing this to try and waste our time, to try and get a reaction out of us, that's fair enough. But I'd appreciate you a bit of honesty in the conversation, really. If you're here for a legitimate reason, then fine. But why wouldn't you tell us that?
I don't have to disclose anything.
You don't have to, but you do appreciate though, and you said it was a personal project. You won't tell me why. That
I don't
makes
have
it
to.
suspicious.
I don't have to.
Yeah,
I think you need to.
Actually, the reason we're
You need to grow
suspicious
some.
is this is a secure police station.
Well, if it's secure, what's your worry?
In the middle of nowhere.
Exactly.
Right, so there's no real legitimate reason for you to be here, is there?
Member of the public walking up a public footpath, is that not legitimate enough?
With a camera, taking pictures of vehicles and registration details.
Taking a photograph of a brand new building.
Yeah.
Okay, are you a photographer?
No.
Well, then don't tell me what is legitimate
But that's
then.
not a photo camera, is it? It's a video camera.
What's that button there?
But when I was
it's a
walking
camera.
towards you, you're filming me walking.
So what?
If you're
What I want to know is
if you're here to get a rise or reaction out of us, that's fine. But if you're here for any other purpose...
I can't believe what you've come out with. I cannot believe what you've come out with. You are the worst type of policeman, you are.
Why?
Because you've come out and you have actually... You're abusing your power.
I'm not abusing it.
You're abusing... You've quoted a law that no longer exists, and as you always so rightly tell everybody else, that there's no defence. Ignorance of the law is no defence. But you're actually trying to threaten me with the law that has been repealed 7 years ago.
Existing powers are there.
Unbelievable.
Existing powers are there.
And
Whether
then
it's
you're
that
demanding to
specific
know.
section or not is another thing entirely, isn't it?
Unbelievable.
But it's actually there, and you're well aware that power is there.
I am. I'm aware of the other terrorist powers as well, and I don't think you are, so there's no point going down that road, is
Right,
there?
okay, that's completely your opinion.
The auditor is not done, and honestly, why would he be? He looks this officer directly in the eye and lays it out without any softening. You have abused your power, you have quoted a law that was repealed 7 years ago, and ignorance of the law is no defense, which is the exact same standard the police hold everyone else to. The officer keeps pushing back, keeps insisting the power exists in some form, keeps trying to reframe what just happened. But every response she gives only digs the hole deeper. This is what it looks like when someone in authority gets held to the same standard they enforce on others, and has absolutely no answer for it.
Well, I think it's paranoia.
It may well be.
You're paranoid, and it's not you that's suffering for it, it's the likes of me and other photographers.
Okay.
Because if I was walking past here with a dog, or I was smoking, or I was on my phone, you wouldn't bother me. It's only because you see a camera.
It's because we see a camera, and we had the report that you were taking pictures of vehicles with it.
Well, of course, I'd be even more suspicious.
We are told time and time again to look out for this kind of thing. So you can't sort of...
And as soon as that pings upon our radar, we've obviously got to come out and speak
It would
to
be
you.
really suspicious if they had 3 cameras on me and didn't take any photographs, wouldn't it? That would be even more suspicious. So when you say I've got a camera and I'm taking photographs,
no.
Listen, it's perfectly lawful what I'm doing. There's no angle to it, and even if there was an angle to it, you have your limits on what you can say to me and what you can ask.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if I want to invoke my right to anonymity,
I respect that.
I can do that, and you should respect that.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Okay, we done?
I'm not exactly sure, to be honest. Bear with me for a minute.
What does that mean, bear with me? I'm detained?
No,
Okay.
I'm not detained. I've not suggested that for a second.
Okay.
I've got no power in law to detain you at the moment.
How am I
and you know
bearing
that.
with you then?
Sorry?
How am I going to bear with you? Are you processing something? I can see
No, if
something's
you wanna
going
leave,
on.
you
That
can feel free.
That
If you
hamster
wanna
wheel
stay,
is
feel
going
free.
at 100 mile an
I'm
hour.
just considering my options.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me know when the...
I will. I will.
If you want to leave,
Should I do the countdown theme?
Sorry?
Should I do the countdown theme?
If it'll make you feel more comfortable, by all means. By all means. Right. Yeah, I'm quite happy at the moment, based on this conversation with you,
Okay.
that you're doing nothing illegal. Okay?
And this is where it all lands. After everything, the legal threats, the repealed legislation, the hostile reconnaissance claims, the demands for identification, the detective stands there and openly admits she has no power in law to detain him. Not a hint of it. She asks him to bear with her anyway, as if that means anything at this point. He offers to hum the countdown theme while she works it out. She eventually has no choice but to concede that he has done absolutely nothing illegal and is free to carry on. The auditor walks away with everything he came with, his name, his footage, and his rights completely intact. That is what standing your ground actually looks like when you know exactly what you are doing. Make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next one.